Hello viewers, and here's the first footage of cars then, and away we go. I'm in the Formula B class. These are all classes and everything else. Racing around Imola. Traction control off and braking into turn one. Wow, I love the racy feeling to it. There's a real racy feeling. Couple of cars off in turn one, bit of drama coming around the first few corners. So you have to be very gentle on the power despite all the action that's going on. Trying to carry speed in here, but not too much because you need to get it into that second part, into the hairpin. There's sort of lines in the road there. I just kind of follow my way around, gently on the power. I'm always gently on the throttle, even at the apex. You know, just a little bit of throttle there, just to keep the car rolling up the hill. Braking earlier than you expect, always falling away from you the first part of this apex. It turned in too much. You saw a bit of understeer and oversteer and all the rest of it there, sliding the car. I'm slower through this section than the AI. Can't quite catch them. So, behind me, Andy Tudor. Stephen John is that in front of me. I can't quite see in the lighting. Another tricky chicane there. The car doesn't handle the bumps too well. So, down the hill. Always a little bit of oversteer down this hill. You've got to account for. Braking down into second, it should be. There we go. Gentle on those curves, they can spin you out. All of these curves are lethal, so you have to take them very gingerly, very progressive on the power. So around through the first lap then, coming up, saw an overtaking opportunity, lift off the power, so I was going to crash into the back of him before getting on it again. I knew I wanted the inside line to turn one, and safely through. Braking late there, getting the car in. Nice bit of bite into the corner. You see wreckage there from the initial turn one incident. So closing now. Who's that ahead of me? Susie Wallace ahead of me now. And oh, got the back end out there. You see I hit the curb and it just slid the car a little. I had to come right out the power there for a second. So handling then feels quite cool. Gently on the power. You are controlling wheel spin a lot. This is a very, very early version of C.A.R.S. And if you haven't seen it before, there'll be a link directly below this video to tell you all about it. A new community assisted racing game, essentially. A game developed and influenced by the community in its construction. It will be out next year. And this is one of many cars and tracks that will be in the final game. So this, what you're seeing here is very, very early. This is a pre-alpha stage game. So none of what you're seeing is complete, but already at this stage it looks pretty spectacular, and it looks an awful lot better than it does on this camera view of the TV here. Unfortunately you do get that bright glare off the TV that the camera's not very good at dealing with. Apologies for any sound problems with the mic as well. We're getting that sorted. So coming round then. Looking for a way past. Trying to get past Susie on the inside, making late, but close to the corner. I could sense the car was there, and so just backed out a little bit, save it for another lap. It's a long race, 20 laps, so I'm in no rush. I know I'm quicker on a couple of sections, but I also know that I'll be slower on a couple of sections as well, so it's trying to maximise those sections. So cars, yes, community assisted racing game, racing simulation, and this is going to be out sometime next year. Essentially the community becomes stakeholders in the development of the game, and we'll be interviewing developers behind that and getting all the information from you guys in the coming weeks. But first, this is just a quick preview. I'll be showing you some of the cars in action. I love this circuit. What I really like is the racing feel here. It feels very much like a classic Formula 1 Grand Prix. The cars, the big slick tyres, everything else, it just feels right. Really nice feeling. Very tentative through this chicane. If you hit any more than just the rumble strips, it destabilises the car, and then you simply can't get on the power until it settles down a bit. So I'm trying to be late on the brakes, but understeering the car there. A little bit of gravel. Again, tentative now. Gently on the power. Nice. So I'm too far behind this lap to see an overtaking opportunity. Always looking for a way past the racer in me, but it's a really cool feel to it, you know, and unfortunately what you're seeing in this video doesn't really do the game justice. It's not running a great frame rate at the moment on my PC, but it gives you an idea of some of the detail that you can see despite the bright light. nice racy feel to it. As I say, it does feel very much like classic F1, and I'll be reviewing the Senna movie this weekend, so it's getting me in the vibe for it, shall we say. So close up behind now, but can't find a way past, and I know I'm going to be slower through this section. Try to carry too much speed and you'll be too slow in this second part, and I was there, carrying too much speed, but I couldn't get on the power to straighten the car up the hill, otherwise it would just spin out. So many areas, so much room for error here. Gently on the power again. It's nice when you're actually over that tricky section. So down the hill, past a couple of corners, car in nicely, that's good there, nice line. Again, lining the front of the car up with where I want to go. So again, not close enough this time to make an attack. Just trying to take a nice line. See a bit of dust being kicked up as well. Really nice racing field. So we're going to be running more videos on this game throughout the course of the year. There'll be odd videos now and again, interviews with developers. I hope to play this game on a better PC next week, so you'll see some much better footage than this. But this is just an early taster of lots of coverage we're going to have to come. Of course, there'll be coverage of Formula 1, coverage of Forza Motorsport 4, and lots of other titles as well. This is just an early taster. So close to the cars in front, but again we come to this section here now where I'm always slower. Just don't have the speed in this section, but I've no grip there. You've got to get the car in early, but I have to wait to straighten the car up, and in that time they've gone down the road a bit. So pushing as hard as I can, but at the same time pushing is very much about tiptoeing. See there, got on the power a bit too soon, lost ground. Tried to be too aggressive. And now what usually happens is when you make a mistake like that, you try to be too aggressive into the next corner to make up for what you've already lost. So I'm probably going a bit quicker than I should be. But again, it doesn't look like I'm closing off this lap. So this is a 20-lap race. I haven't recorded all 20 laps. There's still a few elements and stuff and bugs and stuff which are being fixed, because obviously the game isn't out until next year. So this is a very, very early stage, which I won't be showing you those elements, but this gives you an idea of the racing feel, what it's all about. And I'll be vlogging some of my progress to it as new versions are released and everything else. One thing that does actually look very impressive on it so far is the iInfinity setup. Absolutely stunning. Makes me wish I had one myself. Sponsors take note. So fantastic. Gently on the power again at the top of the hill, and then braking down often into fourth there for that first bit of curve, and then down into second, trying to get the car in. Gentle with the power. But again, I can't get on the power until I know I've straightened the car up. And down again. Just over the curbs where possible. Try not to take too much curb, keep it as tidy as possible. More time can be lost obviously if you spin than just slow through the corner. No doubt with more experience I'd get quicker and quicker and test out new strategies and everything else, but I wanted to put this video together today just to show you guys a bit about this game, not just time trialing but actually having a proper race. So I've got a good run now, came really well out the final corner, and I thought I'm going through. Stamping on the brakes late, and suddenly, whoa, battling for the lead. So I'm giving room there, not on the power, and then realised actually I'm through into the lead now. So that took Susie into second place. I don't know who that was that went off, but through into the lead. And of course now it's just about consistency. Actually, for a moment there I was so comfortable following the cars in front that I completely forgot my braking point there, so it was a bit slow in the next few corners. And now what I'm doing is not necessarily pushing to the limit, I'm trying to keep it nice and consistent, get into a flow, Consistency on this so far is all important. It's very easy to make mistakes. It's easy to overdrive, push too hard, get on the power too early, ride a curb too heavily, and all these things will take you out. And I'll be releasing a separate video which shows some of the crashes and mistakes I've made in actually just simply learning this track and this car. A few of them are AI incidents which were unavoidable, I have to point out. Unavoidable crashes. Some really cool crashes actually. So trying to get into a nice flow now, get into a rhythm. And what it's all about for me is maximising the areas where I know I've got more speed, which is this section, and then trying to minimise any speed loss in the areas where I know I'm pretty slow. So not too bad. I can keep third gear through there comfortably. Not always full power through that corner, I'm kind of progressively accelerating through it. You can take it full power, but depends on how close to the limit you want to go. A mistake there as well, I was trying to carry too much speed in there. See the back end coming out, had to lift a little bit. Suffered some understeer there, but that was my turn-in essentially. I was too late turning into the corner. Over the hill. Concentrating on the apex and looking at there. I really do like the field of view here on this view. It works perfectly for me. It gives me just enough of view of surroundings and awareness of the car. Nice to see. I think it's pretty perfect for my driving actually. It's actually a little bit higher than it would be in real life, but obviously in real life you have the benefit of being able to look about and the feel of actually being in a car, which in a video game you don't. It's all just visual and sound. And there are some sound elements which under low acceleration which I think need to be looked at, but other than that, say mid acceleration point when you're progressively accelerating, the engine's quite quiet at those points. So trying to maximise it again, keep the car as smooth as possible. I try not to be aggressive with it. And I have a braking point which is the kink of the corner there, which I use every single time. Works for me if I carry a decent amount of speed in. Obviously there's still a bit of judgment in there as well. What are we, lap 9 now? And this will go on for ages anyway. So this was just a quick race on cars to show you guys a very, very early development build in their Formula B class. And there'll be loads more coverage to come in the coming days, plus a crash compilation as well. But that's it from me for now, viewers. More soon.